All right, today we're going to talk about performing operations with polynomials. So we've got two different polynomials here. We've got 2x plus 4 and we've got x minus 2. If you remember back, these are both called binomials. This is a binomial because there's 2 terms, and the same thing in our second, there's 2 terms. So 2 is bi. So in this case, we have two different binomials. The first operation we're going to perform with them is addition. So we're going to take 2x plus 4 and we're going to add x minus 2. You can do this one of two different ways. You can write them out going left to right, or you can write one out on top of the other. When I'm adding and subtracting, I like to write them one on top of the other. So we've got 2x plus 4. And I'm going to add x minus 2. Okay. All we're going to do in this case, and by the way, when I put these over the top of each other, I like to line up my terms. I like to put x's over x's and constants over constants. So in this case, we're just going to combine the two. We've got a positive 4, and we're going to add a negative 2, which is the same thing as just saying 4 minus 2, which is going to give us a value of 2. Then we're going to take 2x, and we're going to add x. So we have 2 x's and 1 x. 2 plus 1 is 3x. And that's a 4 minus 2, it's a positive 2. So it's 3x plus 2. When we subtract, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to write our first one, and if we're subtracting our second, we're going to put it underneath. 2x plus 4. And this time we're going to take away x minus 2. Okay? Now the thing with the subtraction, we've got to think about this a little differently. Because in the addition we had 4 plus a negative 2, which is the same as 4 minus 2. This time we've got 4 minus a negative. If you remember, when we do minus a negative, that is the same thing as adding a positive. So instead of 4 minus negative 2, it's going to turn in, if it helps, sometimes I like to go ahead and turn this into addition and then flip that and flip that. And it makes me think about it in the same aspect of addition. Okay, so now we have 4 plus a positive 2 is 6, or that's the same thing as 4 minus a negative 2 is still positive 6. And then we get 2 plus a negative x, or 2 minus x, which is just 1x. Okay, the last operation we're going to perform with them is multiplication. So we're going to take 2x plus 4, and we're going to put this one in parentheses, because we're going to multiply that whole thing by x minus 2. Okay, remember, when we're multiplying binomials, we have to use the FOIL method. We're going to multiply our first terms, our outside terms, our inside terms, and our last terms. Some people like to think of this as kind of like rainbows. You can think of it as FOIL method. But as long as you multiply the 2 by the x and by the negative 2, and you multiply the 4 by the x and by the negative 2, we've multiplied everything by everything. So 2x times x is going to give us 2x squared. Okay, so we've knocked out that first one. 2x times negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is 4. And there's only 1x, so we don't have to multiply the x by anything. 4 times x is 4x. Four times negative 2 is negative 8. And when we multiply binomials, or trinomials, or any kind of polynomial, we have to look and see if we have like terms. Okay? We have 2x squared minus 4x plus 4x and minus 8. Notice we've got a term with an x variable and another term with an x variable. So now we have to go back to our addition and subtraction, or the combining of like terms. So we only have one with an x squared. So it's going to stay the way it is. We've got a negative 4x and a positive 4x. So we need to combine those. 4 minus 4 is 0, so we have 0 x's. And then we have negative 8 is the only constant. There's no other constant terms without a variable. So we write that as just negative 8.